Brodes Media.
Let's begin with the biggest news of the day, and that, of course, is A.J. Brown missing practice. I want to read for you exactly the way Tim McManus wrote it in his ESPN article, because I think it shares a good... It shares a solid view of this, if you will. So he says here, Eagles star wide receiver A.J. Brown was absent from Thursday's practice as he manages a knee injury that Philadelphia does not believe will keep him out of Sunday's wildcard playoff game against the Packers. Brown was listed on Wednesday's practice report as limited with a knee/rest designation. Brown was spotted exiting the practice with a staffer less than 10 minutes into that session. He did not return, according to a team source, who added Brown's departure was all part of the plan. The Eagles struck a similar tone Thursday after Brown was not present on the practice field, maintaining that this is all part of the maintenance plan for the three-time Pro Bowler, and the team expects him to play on Sunday. All right, so let's start with this. I do believe we see A.J. Brown on Sunday. I don't think he is going to not play on Sunday. Is it fair, though, to wonder what version, what percentage is AJ? I don't necessarily buy that this is all part of their master plan. Am I aware that there has been some lingering stuff with AJ? For sure, 1,000%. Look, when you make it this far into the season, when you are this deep into things, you are definitely not 100%. You have aches. You have bruises. You have injuries. You're banged up. And you have to find a way to battle through it and go compete at the highest level possible. Okay? So, yes, AJ obviously is going through pain. There's no way that Wednesday's practice, the goal was for him to show his face, and then before you even hit the 10-minute mark of being on the field, you're walking back through the tunnel. Because if you remember, they were at the link, and that's where they were practicing. So you're at the link, you're going back to that locker room before you even get much started. So, I think something fell off for AJ Wednesday, and now they are playing the game. They're doing the whole, we're going to make this thing as weird, strange, bizarre, all over the place. You're going to get a little of this, you're going to get a little of that, and you don't know which way we're moving. Now, at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Matt LaFleur and the Green Bay Packers are assuming his ass is going to be on the football field, and his ass is going to be on the football field. So it's probably wasted energy to do the whole, hey, you got no clue, you're confused thing when you're discussing your number one wide receiver. What hits me most, though, is if he was about 75%, is he now 65? Is he now 60? Something was definitely very uncomfortable and off-putting. Knowing Jalen Hurts is finally returning from concussion protocol, there are valuable snaps between those two, considering it's almost been a month since Jalen has played a full game of football. You'd think him and AJ would like to get some snaps together, run a few routes, dial up a couple passes, get into some flow, even if it's not anything that's super high intensity, even if it's nothing that is crazy intense, just a few nice how do you do's, a couple nice reps, status quo, basic standard, fundamental throws between Jalen and AJ at this particular juncture of the season, knowing that Jalen hasn't been available. There's something to that. and AJ walked off. It's a little unsettling. There's no way in hell I'm going to pretend the Wednesday show the face walk back was just something that they had structured and something that they were going to do 1,000% just because that's part of how they were going to handle AJ and this knee problem. Nah, not buying it. But reality is, there's no excuses no matter what. You got Green Bay playing without their number one deep threat. You have Green Bay without Alexander. I don't want to hear it for a damn second. That's no excuses. Does it make the offense in the passing game more difficult if there is something going on? Sure. But I don't want to hear it for one damn second. You got the Lions with 75,342 guys on the defense alone on IR. You have guys hurt all over the league with teams that have, a view of trying to win a championship. If you got to deal with a bit of that too, and you have a taste of adversity as well, where A.J. Brown isn't a full go the way you would like, guess what? Shack up. And that's how you have to attack it. So it definitely wasn't my favorite thing in the world when I ended up giving myself a little scroll on Twitter to see, all right, what are we hearing from the link? All right, what are some of these beat reporters putting out? What? Excuse me? You're telling me now we got to deal with the fact that A.J. Brown isn't participating? Oh, not after last year. Not after what transpired with that Tampa Bay game. And I don't think it's that bad. I'm just telling you how I felt in the moment when I first got hit with that wave of emotions that we even have to deal with this nonsense anyway. So the two possibilities to lay it out cleaner here for you. Possibility one, truly part of the plan to manage the knee. Not buying it. Two, something happened Wednesday less than 10 minutes in. And then 2B, because of this situation, they decided, all right, let's make this as murky as possible. We wanted to do this. That. Now they don't know. All right. Wednesday, there was rest designated on the injury report. Now, we wait. Now, what's going to transpire on Friday? He's going to be out there. He's probably going to dominate. He's probably going to look great. Doesn't mean right now, though, I'm just taking it for face value because I'm not. All right, there's the A.J. Brown part of it all. Let's go to Mike Lombardi, who was on the Pat McAfee show. Take a listen to this bullshit.
Who should be on upset alert this weekend in the NFL?
Well, look, I think the Eagles have a challenge. I know Green Bay losing Watson is a problem, but Green Bay has this unique ability to score with Philly. Now, Philly can control the line of scrimmage and run the ball and do what they typically do, which is keep the ball for 36 minutes and run it. Remember, there was a period in the NFL that the Eagles were gaining more yards on the ground than through the air, which is a rarity. I mean, that's service academy-like qualities that the Eagles had. I think that's going to be a challenge. I mean, look, the North we know is good. I mean, Minnesota lost twice to Detroit. They lost to the Rams, but we know they're a good team. We know Green Bay's a good team, and they can pull an upset, and they can go on the road. Bill Walsh used to say this all the time. How do you quiet a crowd? Get first downs. Right? How do you make the crowd stop cheering, get first downs? Offensively is how you win on the road. That's why Coach Walsh had a better road record than he did home record in San Francisco because of the West Coast offense and his ability to get first downs. I think Green Bay has a chance. Obviously, the Rams have already beat Minnesota. Hopefully, they can play that game with all the devastation going out in Southern California right now. But I look at that Green Bay game and say, wow, I don't know if I want to draw that one right up there.
All right, so there's that on the Eagles front. Here's what's hysterical about him going on and on and on and on about these first downs and how that can quiet people in Philadelphia and how that's going to change the game and how the energy is going to get sucked out of that place. Let me explain something to you. What you're forgetting about, which is hysterical, is the fact that Zach Bond is fucking gross. Jalen Carter's an all-pro defensive tackle. Quinyon Mitchell doesn't get beat. Okay, Cooper DeJean is picking up Derrick Henry and throwing him back 15 yards and putting him on his ass. You're forgetting that Nolan Smith has come alive since the first time these two team plays. You're forgetting Nakobe Dean, when going downhill, is a stud and makes you earn it. And guess what, Josh Jacobs? You're going to get a taste of Nakobe Dean's spit as he wraps you up and as he goes, whoa, and brings you down. His spit's going to be flying. It's going to land right in your mouth. My point is this. You talk so loosely about getting first downs as if it's easy against this defense in this atmosphere. First downs will No. So, once again, let me explain this to you. Vic Fangio is going to swallow up Jordan Love. He is going to win this battle knowing that there is a monster loss with the explosive plays that Green Bay tries to hit with Watson. That's no longer available. That is going to limit them insanely. And now Vic Fangio, who probably still would have won the battle with the Watson out there, it only gets easier. Now he can get even more creative with his personnel, and his personnel is nasty. His personnel is gross. So I think it is pure comedy that you just randomly decide to throw out there. It's going to be an easy task to just go get first downs on the road as if you're going up against Swiss cheese, as if you're going up against a defense that was 30th in the league in passing D and rushing D. Josh Jacobs, if you rely on that, like we can rely on Saquon. You could stack the box, and I still think you could get some serious production out of Saquon. I'm just saying, like he's that much of a monster. I like Josh Jacobs. It's definitely a step down from 2-6. But if they're going to try and pound that rock and play that game, you'll be punting. And then when you punt, let me explain how this is going to go. Here comes Jalen. Here comes a methodical drive. Here comes time of possession heavily in the favor of the Birds. Here comes an 8-minute drive. Here comes a 13-play drive. Here comes 7 points. So you can try whatever you want to try. This Eagles offense is going to get their first downs. And what happens is when Jordan Love is standing on the sidelines, one, our defense is very, very well rested. And two, the flow, the rhythm. Once you get back out there after not touching the ball for 9+ minutes and change, and then you go 3 and out and give our offense the football back, or let's say you get 1 first down and then punt. I mean, that's crushing.